it's the girl out there, right here with you. It's me, Cindy, and
Dear Diary.
and we are here in our Christmas dresses. So it must be.
It's gotta be Christmas. Basically Christmas. It's basically Christmas today.
It could be Christmas today, and we have our matching Christmas dresses on. So
This was one of my better purchases, I have to say.
This was one of your best purchases ever. And, I have to say that this is season 3 of these dresses. This is season 3. We have,
Yeah, that is some serious longevity you get out of a holiday piece of apparel, right?
and for people to know, like, how much I actually do wear this. I wear this for a full month, like almost every day. I put this dress on and I am in it. Like, it needs a lot of washing.
Wash as well, because it is basically like a polyester spandex. Not super breathable. It does get stinky really quickly, I have noted. Maybe that's because I stress more during this time of year, that I'm just a little extra.
Yeah,
you know how stress sweat, it stinks more than like exercise sweat, right? I don't know the exercise sweat one because I don't do that. But yeah,
I like that you just called it like, oh, it's the stress sweat dress. Like,
yeah. There's a fair bit of stress sweat in my dress.
It is. I know. I was about to just do, well, rather than like the Saturday Night Live girl, right? I just imitated, for those who are only hearing it, like putting my 2 fingers under my arms and smelling it.
And then smelling them.
But the boys know, we decorate our house very early in the season, as I've already said, but there comes a day about a week ago where I'm like, I think it's time for the dress to come out. And I will tell everyone, what do you think's under this dress?
There were definitely leggings under that.
Leggings.
This is one dress where I will allow leggings to be worn at all times under, because there is there's nothing flattering about Santa faces and holly covering your body head to toe.
But
nothing sexy about it.
The bonus, like, we can both stand up at some point, it does have pockets, and it's like a
functional. It's functional dress.
Such a functional dress. And I feel like this is one of our futures dresses coming to life now, when we just wear ugly dresses all
I will admit that this dress has been worn to my office more than once. I do pride myself on having some holiday apparel.
Yep.
And I no longer wear it as a joke. Like, you know how some people would wear their Christmas sweaters for like the ugly Christmas sweater party. Oh my God, can you believe I'm actually wearing this? Nah, I just wear it. And I wear it kind of with confidence, unapologetically.
Of course.
And I think I wear it because it makes people smile. Like, everybody's like, oh, look at that. Except for the Santa dress. Most people just laugh with the Santa dress. I've tried to adapt it by putting a sweater over it and making it look just like a full-length skirt. I think that's the other thing people need to know, is that it does go down to our ankles.
Right down to the ankles, which I actually love. I love it. And I like that you say that, like, just wearing things unapologetically and wearing them so that people are smiling. Like, it's just this feeling of owning it. I was looking back at my Instagram feed, and I said at one point, imagine yourself as a bouquet of flowers and walk around feeling that way. And then everyone just smiles at you. And because how can they not smile at a bouquet of flowers? It's just the same. Like,
exactly.
So what if you walk in and everyone just goes, oh.
I know, I don't really like that, like, initial moment of attention that it gives, but like, ultimately, I love that I am like stressing, probably like angry, walking down an aisle in the office or something, and nobody can take my anger seriously. I'm wearing a gingerbread on my chest. Like, just your anger and stress mean nothing here while you're wearing that outfit. It's canceled.
So true.
Yeah. So it's basically a mood canceller. brings nothing but happiness and
I
magic.
love it.
Yeah, a bad mood canceller, I guess.
The bad mood counselor.
Yeah.
Just a mood counselor, like everyone just goes neutral.
You no longer have feelings.
Yeah.
Just absorbed by the trance of Santa's face.
So I had said to you today, like I thought, oh, you know what? Let's do this Christmas edition, and then trying to figure out what that actually would look like. And I thought, let's throw out what are some of our favorite traditions. And I also then threw it out on Instagram, and I asked people to give me ideas of what some of their, and I threw it out yesterday. So I thought it was actually late yesterday. And so I thought, I wonder if I'll get some ideas back, but people are amazing. They already started to throw ideas into the pot of, what their favorite Christmas traditions are.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that, because then, also people listening might all of a sudden go, oh, I like that tradition, or I want to add that in or change things up, because Christmas is an interesting time, and it actually can be quite heavy for some people. It can bring a whole wave of emotions. And although I do love it, I also know to be mindful that it can be hard, and it can be tricky for people. So sometimes hearing ideas to twist it up and switch it up can change that.
I 100% agree. I'm definitely in a shake-up phase.
Yeah.
Realizing, I've most of the things I've done have been to just mimic what I grew up with.
Yes.
I've been trying to just do the Christmas that my mom gave to me, because I always loved that Christmas. And now I realize that it just doing that for everybody, and that just grows and grows, and you add more traditions, and then eventually it's burnout and resentment.
Yes.
So it's a matter of not canceling Christmas, which I threaten to do in my mind sometimes, frequently. It's a matter of just adapting the traditions and doing it what's right for your family right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And being okay to shift it, being okay to change it, and saying, you know what, right now, how am I feeling? Why is this bringing on so much pressure for me? So why then am I doing it? Because it's the expectation, because it's Christmas. Like when we boil down what Christmas is joy and happiness, right? So why then do we feel this burden around it? So allowing it to be joyful, right?
Yes. Yeah. And not just what other people
wanting
and what expectations have been built up in your mind. Yeah.
Yes. So what is one tradition that you actually love?
I love watching The Greatest Showman every Christmas. Surprise. Shocker. I do love that. And I love like the indulgent food, like and the drinks, like we always do fire nog, we call it, which is eggnog with Fireball in it, and like just all the little treat foods and the snuggling on the couch, and just the cozy moments. And I love having a tree, like a lit up tree in my living room. Like I just feel like that's the one time of year my living room is complete. It's a fresh tree, and it smells good, and it's that glow of lights.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I love.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So minimal. I mean, there's other stuff that I do, but that most of that other stuff involves me putting a lot of work into. And so it's become less of a something I love, and more about stuff that my kids love. And obviously you do it for those reasons, but less of my favorites.
That's been it. As soon as you just said tree, I trigger, because every year I try to get a tree, and every year it's like Cindy's tree has been
there's I mean, there is a
story.
Iconic photo of your Christmas tree that is ingrained in my mind, my mother's mind, like where you have 19 strings trying to hold the tree up in various, like a spider web of strings are in place. in lieu of it fitting properly in the tree stand.
Yeah.
And that's just how you roll. You don't
Nope.
you don't start again. You just keep trying to throw band-aids on it.
That was the first year I was like, yeah, we're going to get this tree.
Yeah.
And it was a fake tree, but I could not figure out the stand at all. And so then, and I had these two little, Hudson was like 2. And so I remember I was like, okay, I got to figure this out. And I was like, I can't get it to go in the stand. So I was like, I know, I'll just get a whole bunch of ropes and then tie it all throughout the house. And I was like, there it goes. Now it's standing. And then kindly your husband did come and put it in an actual stand.
Yeah, I mean, because you were going to clothesline somebody for sure. Yeah.
But every year after, until this year, I've been so determined. It's been my tradition. Like the Christmas tree is going to work. And every year we get this like ridiculous looking, whether we go cut a tree down, whether half the lights work on it. It's almost our tradition. The tree is going to suck.
it's yeah, it's the imperfect tree.
The imperfect tree.
Yeah. But you I mean, you can barely wait until Halloween to get that tree up.
I know.
So, it's not for lack of desire to have a tree. You just don't care if it's perfect.
Do not care. Just want it in the room because that feeling to me is so amazing. I just love it.
What is it about a tree? I mean, it obviously represents Christmas, but like you say, you've gone fake, you've gone chop your own, you've done
we've gone into where the woods where you can cut down a tree and done that.
Yep.
I think for me, it's just that representation that suddenly the season's going to begin, that suddenly it is the time of where people come together in a different way, where suddenly, and I can feel it, right? Like I can feel it. So I know it's going to happen. I literally can feel it.
Yeah.
So it's like this wave for a bit of time that I just know everyone's going to feel love. And I want it that day.
Yeah. Let's hold on to this feeling as long as we
can. As long as we can. Like I always say, if I could jar up that feeling and hand it out to people and then have them open it when they're feeling sad and just say, here's Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would just do that.
You would just do that. Yeah. No, I love like Christmas scented candles too, right? Like,
yes.
Yeah. That's kind of that smell that reminds you of that feeling.
Yes. So true.
Yes. So what are your traditions other than having an imperfect tree?
An imperfect tree. And then I brought, it's not really Christmas, but we do jars. So every season we collect our jars throughout the year. And then and it's just like our tradition that every year, then at the end of the Christmas season, we read our whole year. And that's sort of what is like known to signify the end of the Christmas season. So I was thinking about that because I look forward to it most of all, but it's my exciting thing because I've done it now for 10 years, but it's something that I write in all of these things that kind of whatever, it can be ridiculous, horrible things, and very important things. It's not just happy notes, but things that have happened to us. And I just put them all on pieces of paper. And then I just know at the end of the year, we're going to read them out. And then we're going to write. And then there's usually like one full list of all of, like, we kind of sit down together and talk about our entire year. And I write it all down on that piece of paper. So it's for Chase, Hudson, and I, and we kind of sit together and put the whole year together. So each jar has everything that's happened in that year.
Right. So you go through the memories or the events.
Well, yeah,
and then you add to it after.
And then we add to it. Yes.
So like, what remember this? And then so you add those all in, and then
we add
it's
it
like
all together.
You close the lid, and it's just kind of fresh start.
And then a fresh start.
I was going to say it's closure, but it's more about the fresh start, isn't it?
Yes.
More about the starting again and adding what the excitement of what we might add this year. And yeah, that's awesome. You are so good at that sentimental stuff. Duh. I'm too busy trying to make it look like nobody lives in my house for when people come over. Like, it has to look like nobody lives here. So famous video that's gone around a lot. But like, I'm like, okay, everybody, the beds all have fresh sheets. Nobody slept in them. Perfect. The hand towel is folded just so. The counter doesn't have any water drops on it. Great. Looks like nobody lives here. Everybody can come over now.
And meanwhile, my house, everybody knows that people live here and there is something going on all the time.
Which is why it is so inviting in your house.
Yeah. Yes.
It is. Everybody feels comfortable in your house.
Oh, thank you.
Sometimes even the people you don't want in your house won't leave because it's so comfortable.
But well, yeah, thank you. But I think those are the moments I feel like I want us to I just focus on those things. And you know what, to be honest, I forget the gifts. So at Christmas, I won't be the one who will give the best gift ever. I will never be the best gift giver ever.
Of a physical gift.
Yes. And
gifts are
and I don't care if I get a good gift ever.
It's not your love language.
It is not my love language. So I do actually stress a little bit about giving gifts even to my own children, because I just don't care.
Exactly. So it's so much more work.
It's so much work because I just don't care.
Because you know if it matters to them.
Yes.
So there,
I want to sit and say like, oh, well, I just know that if we write this down, we'll remember.
Yeah. No, and it's funny, I asked my kids too, in preparation for our chat, I said, what would you consider our Christmas traditions from their perspective? And they said, well, everybody comes over for dinner. Yeah. And then the next day, everybody leaves except for Nina and Grandpa. They usually stay another day or so. I was like, oh, okay.
That's it.
And then, they didn't say gifts. And then they said, so why are you asking this, Mom? And I told them, and they're like, well, Auntie Cindy's wish list probably just has one thing on it: cheese.
It really, like, and that's it. That is all I could desire. All I could desire. If I got cheese, I would be so happy. Yeah. And so I think, and really like that is the whole season. All I want, everything I want. But listening to what some other people do.
Let's hear it. What do I want? I'm open to new traditions.
One person responded, I just try to avoid it, which I
fair. It's a lot. It's a lot. So if you can avoid trying to do something you got to do every year now, get it. Your list just got a little smaller. Yeah,
just trying to avoid it. But I loved this one. This was a really neat one. So sets up a hot chocolate bar for about 2 weeks before the holiday season, so that for the kids. So every morning there's a hot chocolate bar in the kitchen, and so they just know that they get like so basically like the Polar Express, right? Like, so it's like it comes out, and in the morning they get this hot chocolate bar. How cool is that?
Yeah, totally exciting. I mean, it's kind of like the advent calendar type thing, right? Yeah. You know what happened though with the advent calendars thing with my kids is they started waking up at the crack of dawn. Like we're talking like 4:45 in the morning because they were so excited about opening the advent calendar in the morning.
Right.
So we were a bit sleep deprived as a result of some extra good. They're better now that they're a bit older. But that excitement on Christmas, like you can't sleep because you want to just open your gifts so badly.
So maybe having a hot chocolate bar in the evening would be a good idea.
Yeah. Or like an after school hot chocolate or something. Yeah.
Yes.
For my kids.
I
That's
love
not
the
every kid.
idea of something that's so exciting that gets set up like that in your house, right? That you would just be like, just like how you were saying, like the nog
The fire nog.
fire nog, but for the children to have like a specialty drink that they know comes out all the time, right?
Yeah.
How cool. I love that one.
That's great.
And then a nightly forest walk, where you have like, you create a special drink, but it's like this nightly evening Christmas forest walk that they go on. And it's like a special Christmas walk that they go on.
Yeah.
I love that
That's
too,
great.
because
Yeah.
we don't do a nightly forest walk, but they just said that was something that they actually do. They take advantage of this time.
Yeah. And just being
So
off, less work schedules, just
yes,
taking that moment out of the house,
yes,
right? Away from all the distractions and just, that's really nice. Yeah.
yes. And then like
that.
somebody was talking about the food, eating spotted dick.
Oh, what is spotted dick?
So I felt like this was something that you should add in as a new tradition for you. So it's and then bring it out. And then Stephanie, you could just be like, here is your spotted dick.
Instead of a hot chocolate bar, we are going to have spotted dicks every day for 2 weeks.
Every day.
Is it a meat?
So it's a pudding with currants.
Oh. Okay. Do a little research on the name.
I know
one,
it's in Europe, so it's a different different
okay
place, yeah.
So it's interesting you say that, because this is the second time I've heard the word dicks in an odd reference this week. I don't know what the universe is trying to tell me right now, but my sister sent me a photo of a flower, and my mom asked what flower it was, and so I opened up my apps like I use for my flower essence to find out what a flower is.
Yeah.
And the flower was called blue dicks. Spotted dicks, blue dicks. There's dicks. I don't know. The next person I'm gonna meet is Richard. I don't know. I'll do some thinking on that one.
Is he spotted? Like, it's either just because there's something about colors too.
Oh, spotted and blue.
Yeah.
So I said, I was like, I think this flower is hungry for love. The name was Blue Dicks. Anyway, I think that is a tradition that sounds lovely for them. Pudding. I do like pudding as well. Why is that so funny still? I mean, we are in our 40s and we still find
I know, it's terrible. It's so bad that this is where, because we never grow up. We never grow up, right? We're in Christmas dresses laughing about spotted dick. It's
exactly. It's like when I picked up the umbrella cover the other day and asked my kids if they had dropped their condom. They were like, huh? What? Like, it was pink. I just dangled it in front of them. They all looked at me like I was crazy and then laughed.
But then when I said the same thing to your husband, when I saw the same umbrella cover, and then he just looked at me like, whoa, what?
Huh? Yes, these are the things your wife is saying to your children. You're not around. We have to normalize sex, right? We got to normalize these things. So
yes,
that was my goal. Make them a little bit uncomfortable, but know that I'm comfortable with it.
Exactly.
Talk to me, ask me the questions.
So true. It's so
dicks.
I love that we just have transferred this whole conversation to dicks.
That we continuously push our hair back so you can see more of
Santa's I know it's very important. It is so important. It's
Okay, is there any other traditions?
You know what?
Fun ones?
Yeah, there was a lot of people that really like to do they want to go to those, now I've lost it because I didn't write this one down, going out to the craft fairs,
right?
That's a huge one. Like at least 5 people talked about the craft fairs.
Okay, yeah, I like that. I like the Christmas cups at the coffee shops. You know how they do different printed cups at Christmas time. Yeah, I love that. That's another
Oh,
like sign of the
that it's
magic is
coming.
starting, right?
Yes.
Your Christmas Starbucks or Tim Hortons or whatever, wherever you go, they usually have a seasonal cup. I love that.
Right. See, so interesting. We watch a Christmas movie. This was Chase's new tradition.
Oh yeah,
You remember? 30 nights of Christmas movies.
Yeah. That was a long one. That was yeah, it is very hard to watch a movie with your children every single night.
Every night.
Especially when you've been in lockdown for 947 days. So it becomes a little monotonous after a while.
Little bit.
Yeah.
And it's just come out again. So he's like, I couldn't
bet.
find the poster that I drew. So I found the photo and we're watching again.
Here we go. Giddy
So
up.
it started and we're on it again.
Well, maybe I'll come over for Greatest Showman night if
Yes.
that's on your list.
I find it interesting that I love Greatest Showman. I find it interesting though that you like only have like, do you only have one night where you get like cozy and watch that, or do you find that you're there watching more movies and more time in the living room?
Oh yes,
a lot
I do, especially because in December the days are so short. Like that sun is down by after school, and so you just inside, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So although I have been trying to take my dog for a walk in the evenings lately, just because I'm realizing I'm spending too much time in the living room all snuggled up, and
yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, so that's that. So I also wanted to talk about ways for you. How do you find that you can release the stress of this? Like, what are you doing during this time? Because honestly, your stress during this time is different than mine. I do not cook during this season.
Yeah.
I'm not the host during this season. I think that can be a burden for a lot of people. So what do you like? How are you finding ways to cope during this?
I think it's, I do a lot of to-do lists.
Yeah.
To get it out of my head, but that's not really a great tool. The better tool is quick meditation. I find I'm leaning on more now, just like, okay, just 5 minutes in your closet is sometimes where I go. I have kind of a notebook in the kitchen, and I'll just sit and write for a minute and be like, why are you doing this? Why are you stressed? Why are you, you're doing this because you think it's a good thing, but your energy is not there. So I try and just have a little chat with myself for, why are you doing this?
Yes.
Yeah. And then, lots of fire nog, and that it's not, don't recommend that tool. But it is a good temporary fix. Occasionally.
Do you get to the answer though for yourself with why are you doing this? Because I just heard so many people, like I have suggested to a few clients, more because they're going back to parties, and I don't know how many parties you go to, but a lot of clients who are saying, I have to go to this party, I have to go to this party. And so what I've suggested is give yourself a time limit, like give yourself so that
an end time,
and say it and state it before you go, so that you're very clear with your own boundaries. So that you're like, you know what, I can come between this and this time, and then I'm leaving.
Yeah. And the other thing that's great is if you were hosting a party, is to put an end time on it.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, that's good.
Come over for some snacks and drinks from 7 to 9 or from 4 to 6, or I think part of where I get overwhelmed sometimes is when the event is multiple days long, because people are coming from out of town and they're staying. So it's it's not just the excitement of having a party for a set amount of time. It's meal upon meal upon meal upon meal, and
right. And how do you continue?
And it's Christmas time, so everything has to be special, and you have to, I think that's what takes some of the fun out of it sometimes, is when it lasts too long. The hosting lasts too long. But yeah, I think it would be different if it was, come for dinner. It will be from 5 to 8 p.m. and then you go home. But that doesn't happen when people come from out of town.
Right.
Which,
It's the same for lots of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then it's just making sure how they can get those. And so those are tools that I don't know. And because I understand, I'm aware of them for other people, but because I'm not in that position, it's knowing ways to support yourselves, because you still want to support your family, but also keeping yourself healthy.
Yeah, I think it's recognizing when you need the alone time, and then not feeling guilt about it.
Yeah.
So if it's not if you can't sneak away to have your quiet time, just say, I'm going to take 20 minutes. And I might say, like, I need to make a phone call, or I need to go check on something or whatever. So I will just make an excuse if I know I need to step away for a minute, and then just lock the door, take your breaths, close your eyes for a minute. And back. So I think just those little escapes, or, I'll often use I'm just going to take the dog for a walk. She needs to go out or whatever. And then that's my kind of
away
time. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. So, but yeah, because it can be very overwhelming, and the kids' energy is just so huge, and it's awesome. And that's I can relate to that energy as a kid. Like, it's just bursting out of you. But as a parent who's trying to juggle it all and making sure you've checked your lists and got the shopping and the wine and you no longer want to be part of that energy, because you're burnt out. Well, before Christmas morning even happens, generally.
And I think the things too, which also I'm not always aware of, as you say, I am okay with a house not being in perfect order, but when people also are wanting to make sure that things are okay in order, that can be an added stress too, right? So all of those things build.
Yes.
And so it's making sure that your self-care is okay.
Yeah, exactly. Figure out what that self-care is for you, and put it on the to-do list, right? Like, if you're a list person like me, it's like, okay, no, from 8 to 8:30, you're out walking the dog or whatever. Yeah, that thing is
so good. I like it.
And I think having a understanding partner helps, and so they can see your cue, being like, I'm gonna go upstairs for a minute or whatever, and they know where you're at, as opposed to just keeping it all in.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Yeah. And just having a great Christmas dress with pockets.
Well, exactly, because nobody can be angry with you if you're wearing
the bad mood goes.
It absolutely does. Absolutely does. What is on the top of your wish list this year?
You know what? Again,
cheese.
Nothing. Cheese.
And maybe for somebody to do your Christmas shopping for you.
You know what? If I could get somebody to do that would be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know what people want.
They would just be hired to spend time with your children, to get to know them and find out what their ideal gifts are.
I'm going to say this, and my ex-husband would actually laugh at it, because I still have the shirt. This is a story, because
oh my God, you have it here right now, right? No,
I don't actually have it here. Okay. I really should, because that would be funny, but I have it upstairs and I will bring it out. Because I went shopping for him, and if anyone, I can describe him. He really likes his clothes, and he's very particular about his clothes. And when we were together, he really liked very nice dress clothes. And I decided to take it upon myself to shop for him without a list, because I just like to buy. I wanted to buy.
Yeah, he likes clothes. I'm gonna go clothes.
Yeah, I thought I'll just go and buy something, and it will be from my heart, and I will buy it. And it was a brown velvet dress shirt.
Sounds very dressy.
It was very
seasonal as well.
Yes,
perhaps like a New Year's Eve shirt.
And but
for a man.
And I think I'm very similar to my dad that way, that you want to buy something from your heart for the other person, but you never quite get it right. So you think this is amazing. And
Yes.
even my children now will be like, "Oh, mom, like you almost got it." And
Yeah.
so
It's hard. Yeah.
so
But the
they're
great thing is that you're not insulted by that.
oh no, because I mean I tried.
Or are you? Like, does it hurt a little bit when somebody doesn't like the gift you thought they were going to love?
No, because I know that, like, I know what my intention was. I do know.
Yes. Yeah.
But that was,
Intention, right? That's all about.
it's still here, and I still laugh at it, and it actually still is a joke that carries on, because whenever I say like I really tried with that gift, and it always goes back to, do you remember the brown velvet shirt?
Right. So you've been labeled.
I've been labeled, and I know. So it's
Yeah.
always for me now where I say, I would prefer if somebody else purchased the gift, because it's not my strongest ability. And I am, so then I just say, like, let's all remember the brown velvet shirt.
Yeah. Tell me exactly what you want.
Give me the detail, exact store, what lane. If I know all of those details, I can get it. Otherwise, my mind will drift off, and I'll be like, ooh, I think you might like.
I know I've got this list, but did you see what was at the front
about
with the sparkles and stuff? I struggle with the listing too, because I am, you want to get them something they want, but at the same time, it's not from you.
Yes,
It's
totally
from them.
It's from them. You kind of want to go.
I know. I like that. My favorite gifts are the ones that are not on the list.
Yes, that they weren't expecting.
Yeah, those are the ones that are the best to buy.
Yes.
Or make or whatever. Yeah. So I struggle, because it's like, okay, yes, I don't want to waste money on something that you just sort of like.
Yes.
Right. So it's a tough one for me. I'm like, yeah, like let's use our dollars wisely. We don't, have enough to just get random crap, and you don't want to create waste, right? Yeah. So be efficient with your purchases, but it feels so good to get something that you just come across or think about and be like, they would love this, and they don't even know they're gonna love this. That's my favorite part of Christmas. They will. That is my favorite part of Christmas. That's the truth. Like, yeah. So, like my husband does not like that at all. Like he just doesn't. So, it's come to the point where in our relationship where I buy my own gift generally, or I will say exactly what I want. Yeah. I don't wrap it myself, but I might as well,
Well, and we should say that you are an exceptional rapper.
I am a pretty good rapper. Yeah.
So if we could do, even on here now that we're on, like you wrapping a gift and me wrapping a gift, it's
yeah, we could do a little challenge, and maybe have something very unique that we need to wrap, and we'll see. We'll compare it.
We'll compare it. Everyone will be like, oh, look, we know exactly what Cindy's wrapped.
Because it will be like the nailed it. Or like Pinterest nailed it.
Because I'm half the time just like, oh, just gonna wrap that thing up there.
Maybe we should each try and wrap a boot without a box and see how that turns out, like something really challenging.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay,
let's do that.
Let's do that.
Good challenge. I love it. Let's do that.
And then we'll put it under the tree for an anonymous person.
I love it.
Everybody will be like, what is it? Well, they might not at your house.
They would so be okay with it. They'd be like, okay, what?
Oh, mom wrapped up an old boot.
Mom wrapped up a boot. And there she goes again. She's just doing something else. Oh my
goodness.
Yeah. We'll end on this story because I just think this is so funny. I had Chase was probably, you might not even remember this. Chase was probably 3 at the time. And there was a funny thing going around on YouTube, and you know me, I won't remember who it was, but it was a late night talk show guy. And he was giving kids gifts, but the gifts were things like boots or a banana or something really terrible. And then he was filming it, right?
Okay.
And their reaction. So the kids would open, there would be a large box and it would be under the tree, and he'd be like, you get to have a gift early. And then the kid would open the gift and it would be a banana.
Right.
And so it was just terrible, but it was really funny because the child would open the gift and he'd be like, it's a banana.
Yeah.
And so it was just a really funny gift.
Yeah.
And so I thought that would be really quite funny. And so
you wanted to do the Cindy version.
Wrapped up a gift for Chase and it was a banana.
And
so
was the reaction expected?
Chase just like so excited, like, okay, you're gonna open. He's just like, it's just I was like, this was the worst gift.
Social experiment ever.
This is a terrible. So then I immediately had to give him like 4 other gifts.
Oh yeah, that was a bad call.
That was terrible. Hindsight. Why would he?
You know what though? I do remember your child getting really excited about a gift I gave him around that age, if it wasn't 3. And I think it was snow boots.
Oh yeah.
Because you would be very practical with your gifts at that age, right? Like you're like, they don't need 96,000 toys.
Yes.
My house can't handle it. You know, he really needs snow boots. Do you want to get him snow boots? I was like, yeah, perfect. Great. Got him snow boots. He walked around with those snow boots on with just a diaper and snow boots and forever. He was so excited. He would look at himself in the mirror in them. And yeah, I remember that. So,
I do remember that. That was so sweet. Oh, those are the moments where you're like, I remember when they were sweet like that.
Yeah, exactly. They were stoked on boots. Now they just expect you to buy them for them every time their feet grow.
I know. What? It's not a gift?
Yeah. Well, it's like that meme you see going around. It's like, every mom, as soon as, their kid says, oh, it's November 30th. And they're like, I need new toothpaste. Put it on your wish list. On your Christmas list.
True.
Everything from this point on
25 more days
wrapped. So anything you need, don't expect it to come before December 25th.
A few more days because we're leaving, and I was like, "Oh, you need a suitcase? Well, it's Christmas," and they both were like, "A suitcase?" Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I know, so my husband was like, oh, maybe you want to spend your birthday money on a hockey stick. They're like, well, wouldn't you just get that for me anyway if I need a new stick? It's like, created monsters.
I know.
Anyway,
I
love them anyway.
Yes. Well, thank you. This is always
Thank you for putting me in the festive spirit. I tell you.
We did it. We did it.
Santa dresses out. Watch out, colleagues. Yep. Collection of Christmas sweaters is coming.
Well, ho, and go enjoy your afternoon.
Yes. Go have a cup of bliss.
Yes. Thank you. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.